Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Kesubos daf Zion number 7. I want to discuss over here the beginning of the daf. I'm going to leave tomorrow to talk more about Sheva Brachos. The Gemara here on the top of Zion now discusses whether you let it to be a Rishona on Yom Tov as opposed to Shabbos. I mean, even technically if you hold on Shabbos it might be Usher. The Gemara says it's possible. I mean, Yom Tov it's mutter. Why is on Yom Tov it's mutter? Because mitok shehutra chabura letzorah chushnam mishlo letzorah. When you shecht an animal, you gotta shecht an animal, a cow on Shabbat on Yom Tov, because ochel nefesh. So therefore, the concept of mitok, the Gemara says in Beitz on that good base, but he still subscribes to mitok, and therefore, even if not directly ochel nefesh purposes, for certain other purposes, you're allowed to extend the heter of whatever malacha it is. So therefore, shlita, which is basically the same thing as chabura, drawing blood, you're allowed to extend it over here also when you have bia rishona. So therefore, even though it's not ochel nefesh per se, but it is a need, it is a necessity. So therefore, you can do chabura over there on Yom Tov. Shabbos is no mitoch, there's no ochel nefesh. So therefore, it's not allowed on Shabbos. So the Gemara contested. The Gemara says, "What do you mean? Even if you want to say, then you should, if you're going to allow, right? If you're going to say mitoch shehushal l'tzorach shamish l'tzorach when it comes to bia over here, bia rishona, you should say things like mugmar. The Gemara in Beis is very clear. Mugmar, whatever mugmar is not allowed on Yom Tov. We should say over there, right? So I said in the regular shir, I said in Nuchesh and Mugmar. Mugmar does not mean incense you burn. Some people do burn incense, in their rooms, but most people don't know what incense is, and they don't really burn it to make their clothes smell better, or to make their pots and pans smell better. We're talking about Mugmar. We're talking about e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes. Usually you use fragrances, it's a liquid fragrance that has nicotine in it. It's either to wean people off actual cigarettes, or it's not as lethal or addictive as regular cigarettes. So that's e-cigarettes. And Havara, I think they use electronic, is electronic cigarettes. They use Havara, the electricity, assuming electricity is Havara. So the Gemara says, no, the reason Mugmar you can't do is because that's not Shavah l'chol nefesh. It has to be something seemingly necessary for everybody, right? It's not necessary for everybody. The Gemara says, what do you mean? If it's not necessary for everybody, then what about if you trap a deer on Shabbos, on Yom Tov? You shouldn't be able to have to eat the meat. The Gemara says it's obvious that you could eat the meat, venison, right? Deer is kosher. It's the one chaya that is kosher. You could eat the meat. It's called venison. So you could eat that meat. Why is it? What's the difference, right? Only really rich people eat venison. No one else likes venison, right? You notice most people don't eat steaks all the time, only lamb chops. They don't appreciate what it is. They don't enjoy it. Right? People go to a restaurant, they order steaks. Give me it well done. The waiter's like, okay, so you want it well done or very well done? The guy's like, whatever you say, waiter, whatever you say, you know better than me. And we're like, okay, we'll do it well done, right? There's no other options over here. It doesn't say, rare or medium rare. It doesn't give you that. Maybe it'll say medium or well done, which shouldn't do. It doesn't give you rare or medium rare. That's how you eat a real steak. You got to eat medium rare. You don't put anything on it. You don't put your barbecue sauce. It's barbecue sauce you put on the dry steaks, the burnt out steaks, the well done ones, because they taste like charcoal. No, if you want to eat a steak, you got to know how to eat it. And people don't understand this. People don't have a refined taste. Haute cuisine. They don't have that refined taste. They shop at gourmet glatt, and gourmet really means really special food for luxurious people, for rich people, but they shop at gourmet glatt, but their taste buds are really, like poor people. That's what it is, unfortunately. If you don't accustom yourself to liking these things, getting used to these things, it's not exactly an acquired taste. I wouldn't say it's an acquired taste. It's just something that people that don't have appreciation for food, don't have refined taste buds, can't get there. So venison also is something expensive, something prized type of meat. You're not going to get, only rich people could afford it, only rich people would like it, really. But the Gemara says that's something sarach kol nefesh, right? That's the Gemara's maskana. That's sarach kol nefesh. Mugmar is not sarach kol nefesh. What's the distinction over here? Like I say like this, that technically everybody, most people start out their lives as poor people, right? Even if you're born into a rich family, you're poor in terms of you haven't refined your taste buds. But once you refine your taste buds and you appreciate hot cuisine, gourmet food, it becomes a need. It's not just a want anymore, right? I mean, this is how it works for me. I mean, I don't have so much money in the bank yet, but I consider myself a rich person because I appreciate rich things that most people don't appreciate. I know how to cook a steak. I know what foods to order in a restaurant. Most people go out to a fancy restaurant, they have no idea what foods to order. I know very well what foods to order. So I have appreciation for haute cuisine, and I think that makes you a rich person, whether you have money in the bank account or not, whether you can appreciate, it's like chocolate mousse, they say it's rich, it's too rich for me, right? What does that mean, it's too rich? Chocolate mousse doesn't cost that much money, but if you don't have an appreciation for Belgian chocolate, right, really chocolatey stuff, most simple people would rather have a Hershey's bar, you don't have the appreciation for really expensive stuff, and you have to develop your taste buds, luxurious things that are haute cuisine. You really have to enjoy them, learn how to enjoy them, and that makes you a rich person when you're able to enjoy them, because it does provide more enjoyment than chicken on the bone. Sorry to tell you, but it actually, the chiddush over here is that it's really a need. It's not just that it's a want, right? If you reach the Hashem wants everyone to be ashir and to be rich, and when you reach that state of ashira, you can't eat the other stuff. Shabbos meals, I can't eat most Shabbos meals anymore. I need good food. I need parki. I need baby chicken. I need steak, rib steak. I need these things. So that's shav l'chol nefesh. Even though most people don't need it right now, but it is technically, Hashem wants it to be a need for everybody. When it comes to e-cigarettes, so let's just analyze cigarettes before we get to e-cigarettes, right? There's a big question in the post: can I smoke a cigarette, light a cigarette, and burn a cigarette on Yom Tov or not? And a lot of poskim say not from this Gemara directly, but it's not shav l'chol nefesh. Not everyone needs cigarettes. Only if you start smoking cigarettes to get addicted to them. Not everyone. But the Gemara chooses not to say that. The Gemara says Mugmar chooses Mugmar. It doesn't choose regular cigarettes. Mugmar has a fragrance. Right? Cigarettes don't have a good fragrance. They make you smell pretty bad. Your breath smells pretty bad. E-cigarettes have a good fragrance. It's supposed to smell good, like out of different fruit flavors. So when it comes to e-cigarettes, that's not shava l'chol nefesh, because I would say that cigarettes is shava l'chol nefesh. Because if you became addicted to cigarettes, you need it. You need that. I'm sorry. If you didn't become addicted. But once you started smoking cigarettes, whoever's smoking cigarettes, all that population needs to smoke. You need it. It's a need that you have. The e-cigarettes, not exactly. Meaning, you can get by with a cigarette. You don't have to have the jewel. And most people like the cigarettes better than the jewel. So, and even if you're one of those people that avoid cigarettes and you just want to start, like a lot of yeshiva guys, they like to smoke the e-cigarettes. There's a guy here in the base meadow, he smokes an e-cigarette next to me, and it infuriates me that he's smoking it. The e-cigarettes has become accepted in a lot of people, a norm in yeshivas, but they don't need that. They don't need that stuff, really. It's just like, I think, I've never talked to people like this, but I think if you just start with e-cigarettes, you don't have to continue. It's much easier to get off of them. That's one of the reasons there's more, even though the FDA now recently said they're banning Juul, but it's easier to get off the addiction to e-cigarettes and to actual cigarettes. So cigarettes would be a need, and I think e-cigarettes would be something that, first of all, it's definitely not something that everyone needs, and even those people that need cigarettes, I don't think they need e-cigarettes, and those people that only smoke e-cigarettes, I also don't think they necessarily need e-cigarettes on Yom Tov. But if you need real cigarettes, I think from this Gemara, it's clear, it only goes after Mugmar, not La'ashen, to just smoke independently. I think that would be mutter on Yom Tov, because and Havara, and it's davar shav l'chol nefesh, right? For people that smoke, it's needed, it's necessity. Just like venison is a necessity for everybody, even if you don't realize it. That was the conclusion of today's share. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me if you agree with me or not.